Hello my dear friends, I Shruti welcome you all to your one and only, your very own Wonder English. आज हम बात करेंगे डायरेक्ट स्पीच और इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच द लास्ट पार्ट 4। इसमें सबसे पहले हम एग्जाम्पल से शुरुआत करेंगे बिकॉज एग्जाम्पल्स आर द बेस्ट टीचर्स। सो या here you see, डायरेक्ट स्पीच में कहा गया है he said mathematics is a science। उसने कहा मैथमेटिक्स एक साइंस है। जब इसे मैंने इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच में कन्वर्ट किया तब मैंने कहा he said that mathematics is a science। यहाँ पर you must have observed that we have changed said to said that and we have also removed the quotation marks, but we have not changed the tense। हमने यहाँ पर टेंस चेंज इसलिए नहीं किया क्योंकि ये जो स्टेटमेंट है मैथमेटिक्स इज अ साइंस, दिस इज अ यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ, ये कोई बदल नहीं सकता क्योंकि दिस इज अ ट्रूथ, यह एक सत्य है और किसी भी यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ को हम कभी बदल नहीं सकते। तो ऐसी जो भी स्टेटमेंट होगी उनके साथ हम कभी भी टेंस को चेंज नहीं करते। लेट्स टेक अनदर एग्जांपल। ही सेड सन राइजेस इन द ईस्ट। उसने कहा सन ईस्ट से निकलता है, तो दिस टू इज अ यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ। इट्स इनडायरेक्ट स्पीच वुड बी ही सेड दैट सन राइजेस इन द ईस्ट। सन ईस्ट से निकलता है, सो दिस टू इज अ यूनिवर्सल ट्रूथ, इसीलिए हमने इसमें भी टेंस नहीं चेंज किया। एक चीज जब हम असर्टिव सेंटेंसेस की बात करते हैं, यू हैव टू कीप इन माइंड इज when we talk about present, it remains present only in assertive sentences. For example, say to changes into tell and said to changes into told. So the tense remains same, whereas the speech changes from direct to indirect. There is another thing that you need to keep in consideration, and that is you can say said that. That is absolutely correct. You can also say told me that, या फिर told subject that. Subject could be he, she, it, you, we, they, etc. Told, subject, that. This too is absolutely correct. Whereas if you say told that, it is a big no. You cannot say told that. You can always say said to, whereas told that is absolutely incorrect. Let us read some examples now. I will have to work hard to get first class, said Lezer. Lezer ने कहा कि मुझे मेहनत करनी होगी फर्स्ट क्लास लाने के लिए. So its indirect form would be Lezer said that he would have to work hard to get first class. यहाँ पर हमने टेंस को चेंज किया और कोटेशन मार्क्स को रिमूव किया, said को said that में कन्वर्ट किया. टेंस चेंज होने की वजह यही है कि this statement is not a universal truth. Next example is, the second example is, you can do this work, said Nelson to Johnsy. Nelson ने Johnsy से कहा कि तुम यह काम कर सकते हो. So its indirect form would be, Nelson told Johnsy that he could do that work. इसमें भी we have completely changed the pattern of direct to indirect and we have changed the tense as well. And now we will talk about the points that you need to keep in consideration while learning or reading the imperative sentences. Let us begin. The first is remove the quotation marks. You always need to remove the quotation marks which are used in the direct speech. Second is use to, to, when it is an affirmative sentence. Third is use not to. Not to का यूज हम तब करेंगे जब हमारा सेंटेंस डोंट के बगैर शुरू होता है. जब सेंटेंस के शुरुआत में डोंट नहीं लगा है तब हम नॉट टू का यूज करेंगे. फोर्थ पॉइंट इज डोंट यूज दैट. हम दैट का यूज नहीं करेंगे. नेक्स्ट इज ओमिट द यूज ऑफ वर्ड प्लीज. प्लीज को आप यूज नहीं करेंगे. इसके बजाय जो वर्ड्स आप यूज करेंगे वो होंगे रिक्वेस्ट और इंस्टेड से. वेरी सिंपली. And you will not use the word please at all. The last but not the least, if the sentence is an order or a request, you will not change said to told or anything like that. You will say requested, commanded, ordered, advised. You will use words like these instead of using said and told. So let us now read some examples. Do not talk in the class, said teacher to boys. Teacher ने boys को कहा कि क्लास में बात नहीं करो. तो यहाँ पर this is a kind of advice. She is not commanding or she is not requesting either. So we'll say the teacher advised boys to not talk in the class. Second example is, please give me something to eat, I am hungry, said the old man to them. Its indirect form would be, the old man requested them to give him something to eat since he was hungry. वह भूखा था इसीलिए उसने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करी कि वे उसे कुछ खाने को दें. Third example is, be careful, said he to her. उसने उसे कहा कि वे careful रहे. This could be an order or an advice or maybe a warning, anything. It depends upon the situation. Like our first example, it could be an order or a request or an advice. It could be anything. So it is very similar. Here we have used requested. He requested her to be careful. या फिर we can use this as an advice as well. He requested her to be careful. He ordered her to be careful, or he warned her to be careful. It could be anything depending upon the situation. Last example is, bring me a cup of tea, said Nelson to Andrea. This is perhaps an order or maybe a request or just an asking. So I'll be using ask here. Nelson asked Andrea to bring him a cup of tea. As simple as that. Now we will talk about the interrogative sentences. वो sentences जिनमें कोई question पूछा जाता है. When we talk about the interrogative sentences, we need to keep some points in mind, and those are: remove the quotation as well as the question mark when you change the direct speech into indirect speech. The second point is, you need to use words like if and whether, despite using the words like ask. The third point is, use the given interrogative word what, when, where, how, why, which, who, whom, etc. The fourth point is, do not use that. You are not supposed to use the word that in interrogative indirect form of speech. The second last point is, you have to change the reporting verb say, said into ask or asked. The last point is, you should omit the use of words, the helping verbs like do, did, does in the indirect form of interrogative speeches. So yeah, let us read some examples to get a better understanding. The first example is, will you not help me to carry this box, said I to my friend. Indirect speeches, I asked my friend if he would help me to carry that box. Here you see, when I am talking about the indirect speech, I have removed the quotation marks as well as the question mark. I have changed said to asked, and I have used the word if as well. Let us read another example, and that is, Mohan said to Stalin, why did he not attend the meeting yesterday? मोहन ने स्टालिन से पूछा कि उसने पिछले दिन जो मीटिंग थी वो अटेंड क्यों नहीं की. Its indirect form would be, Mohan asked Stalin that why had he not attended the meeting the day before. यहाँ पर हमने yesterday को the day before में change किया, said को asked में change किया, और जो मैंने आपको consider करने के लिए points बताए थे उनमें एक point था that you are supposed to use words like when, where, why, how, which, etc. So here I have used the word why because the cause has been asked, the reason has been asked. Let us read one more example, and that is, how often do you go to the theater? Said David to John. John ने David से पूछा कि तुम कितना often, कितनी बार थिएटर जाते हो. Its indirect form would be, David asked John how often he went to the theater. This was our third example. Last example is, Muhammad said to Sultan, do you like mangoes? Its indirect form would be, Muhammad asked Sultan if he liked mangoes. This was very simple. So, we are now done with our direct and indirect speech completely, and we'll now switch on to our next topic, and that is the application of word which in the language of English. Which is used when we talk about selection. Its sentence structure would be, which plus helping verb plus subject plus the object. Some examples would be which is your house, which is your shop, which was your book, which book are you reading on Monday, which class do you read in, which book were they reading, which toy did she like most, which class do you read in, which book are they reading since morning, so on and so forth. You can use the word which whenever you talk about the selections. So yeah, this was all for today and I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, keep learning English from Wonder English.